Hi. This is like, okay, two things. No, one thing. I'm gonna trim it to one. This is like an old start to a stream. Holy shit, so many of you people here. Beer, McCain, Mick, Rich, Lobster, Shad, Mr. Not So Amazing. Anyone else I may have missed or has not chatted. Hello. Many of you may have thought Roscoe's story ended last night. And it felt like it. I did a lot of thinking. I'll be very honest. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't decide what to do. And I thought almost all night about it. I slept for a few hours, went to work, thought about it all day at work. And I've come to a conclusion. I know what Roscoe's future will hold. And it's going to play out. I'll set the scene. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'll set the scene, though. Roscoe was lined up with all of them last night. 9 selected members from groups that have fought over the years or even just the past few months. You know, fighting against the evil that the cult has brought upon Trinaris and this land for quite a long time. 3 groups: the Overlook, the Coalition, and the Host. All of their members lined up on a stage and executed in a backstabbing twist by the cult. Roscoe was one of those people on stage, obviously. We all witnessed it. He was shot in the throat and was bleeding out, lying there. He fell back, looked at Delilah one last time, and faded. And something that isn't common knowledge because it was written in a journal entry by Roscoe on the DayZ Underground members only Reddit page. But when Roscoe lived in the woods, he was sleeping one night when he had a dream. A woman, his mother, came to him in the dream and told him to wake up and it was time to go back. And that's when he woke up and heard the radio transmission that started all of this. He left the woods and he emerged to join a bunch of other survivors who banded together and what eventually became the Host. It's been 6, 7 months, actually almost 8 months now, since that has transpired, and a lot has come and gone. People have came and went. Lots of ups and downs. Trying to just start a business and then gathering information and did some shady things, but then tried in the end to do something good. And let's put down. Roscoe learned that he was actually weak and has been running away from it the whole time. For those who haven't caught on or paid attention to the whole series, Roscoe's backstory involves he ran away before the apocalypse. He ran into the woods because he murdered someone who made him feel bad about himself. But he was bullied, and that's why Roscoe doesn't take too kindly to bullies. And he murdered that person and ran into the woods to hide because he was afraid. He didn't want confrontation. He didn't want to be, you know, didn't want to have to face the things that were coming for him. So he ran and he hid. And he just got lucky that the apocalypse happened. But at the same time, he ran away and didn't confront who he was or what he did. And he lost everything he knew. Now fast forward 10 years, 7 months, almost 8 months. Rosco emerges, forgets, and runs away from who he was. Tries to pretend he's someone else. Digs himself into a deeper and deeper hole. And blindly leads the person that he loved, Delilah, into what was a trap. Rosco is not religious, and he believes, especially now more than ever, the world has become godless. And in this godless country, he still decided to try and be optimistic and pretend he didn't know what the world already was. He put his faith into a man he did not know, Father Abraham. And he was led into a trap where he saw many people that he loved, respected, cared about at one point or another. He watched them all get shot one by one. And he even took a bullet himself. And his last words before he took that bullet were a plea for help. He asked Father Abraham, please, I'm weak. He finally confronted what he was and was ready to lay to rest as he faded back. The light that he saw coming in from the glass panes quickly, slowly turned to darkness. And then he had another vision, another dream. And this time it wasn't his mother, but it was Delilah who came to him. And Delilah told him that I have to go. I have to go tell them. They have to know what happened to us. They have to be given the opportunity to understand. And then I can come. And I'll leave you with that. So Rosco was told this in a dream, in a vision, in a place of a higher being or state, or whatever you want to call it. He crawled with a broken leg all the way from the church, all the way home. Now he's here. I don't do a lot of writing things out. Those of you who know me know that I'm a big improv guy. I did a lot of thinking today. I know I have a concept, I have an idea of how I want this to go, but obviously everything will be improvised. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy what comes of it. Sometimes he has the strength to, get up and walk a little bit, but it hurts and he has to crawl again. Rosco did used to be a writer before the apocalypse, and that's why he always carried a bunch of paper and pen in case he felt like writing. It's been a couple times on or off stream I've left little short poems or, short scriptures of sorts. And one of Roscoe's favorite poems was a poem called A Poison Tree by William Blake. I think it's something very important for what Rosco is deep inside. Even just the first little excerpt. I'll read it here. It's going to be kind of a focal point of what I hope to be the little seed that I plant here today. For those not familiar, the excerpt specifically that I think fits here goes as follows. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. I'll leave you with that. You can think about what's happened over the course of the last few weeks since the Starry Yar Summit. Up to events leading, up to tonight, or last night. And just think about those words. I'll read them again. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. That's a poem I like to think Rosco, well, I don't like to think, this is kind of written into the character. That's a poem that Rosco held close to his heart before, whenever he was angry. He read that aloud and tried to remember who he was being angry with and whether it was worth it or not, You can just take that, absorb it, think about it, do with it as you please. Mr. Bones, hello. Much love. Skip, hello. Dreamer, hi. DayZ, hi. David, hi. Home. I come through on the mic. Slow, painful, dreadful crawl. A Mogilevka church to home. Hope anybody's home. Be so awkward. Hi, honey. You already done? I guess I've been kind of, I've been waiting for a little bit. Came across this Esty video about a wall fenced off, and there you were. Drake, what the fuck? Well, I just did a whole little monologue about Rosco and where we are, how we came to this moment. I don't think I can do shout. Rosco's definitely not got enough in him for shout. Help! Oh. Is that Taurus? Couldn't tell. That's just some random. Doesn't even see me crawling down the road. Oh shit. Help. How sad will it be when nobody's home? We'll just have to do the old Doug thing and leave a note.
What happened to you?
Did this to it. Yeah.
Get you up. Did this to us.
They did this to us, Taurus. Can't walk. It hurts. I need to tell you what happened. They trap. The meeting. Kenny. They shot me. Shot.
Who? What meeting?
Shut off. Father, him. It was a trap. Itchy. Delilah, bring me home. Tell you. But I could rest too.
Blackthorn did this to you? . 'Cause. 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 'Cause
Luigi. Locked us in. She's about Papa. Us up. Cooper. Chris. Maybe. Lila. Me. Lila. Squatting my feet. She brought me here to tell you. I crawled. They shot my leg. Throat. Bled. Suffered. Just like they would. Cooper. Wisp. Gary. And Delilah. Dead. Others I don't know. One or two left, and they wait. That's all. Can't let them wait. I need paper, pen. My
Do they have
pouch.
some inside?
My pouch inside. They killed innocents, Tor. Good.
Some water.
I can't keep it.
Your pouch.
Pouch should be another tent on the watchtower.
In the back?
Oh, in the center. Just need to leave a message for the others. Oh, it's not picking up. I need to put this close to my face. Oh. to make sure I have this ready. Yeah, he did. Poor Torse. It's here. What's a font that looks like I can barely write anything and that I'm on my deathbed? That works.
Morphine.
Shit.
In pain.
Boys in pain. One more. I've done what I've come here to do. need to tell them, Tors. Tell them what happened. I need you to do this. Take this to the castle and bury it. The castle where you took Delilah and I down south. Bury it for us. It's where we would want to rest. I have to go. Now I can rest. I came here without morphine. I can finish. Just tell everybody to do what needs to be done. Mother Abraham, Blackthorn, they did this. They killed Delilah. They killed Rosco. I have to go to the woods where I belong. Oh. I'm gonna miss this place. How fitting. Dark and rainy. Thank you, Tors, for everything. You're a good man. You can do that. You're the last of us. Lead these people. You're capable.
Peter?
You can do it. You're a better person than me. I tried. I tried. I have to rest now. It's done. I'm gonna go find a nice spot. Woods. I'm gonna sleep. Don't look for me. Let me rest. Take that bear to the castle. Took Delilah and I. Can rest together. Spirit. I'll see you on the other side. Goodbye, Tors.
Bye, Rosco.
Damn it, Mick. Mick just made me break. I'm trying to be so serious. It's been a long time without you, my friend. Fuck me. Now Rosco has to go rest. For what he was set out to do, Delilah came to him as he faded away and brought him home to let them know. And now he can he can lay down and he can rest and go to Delilah. Because Delilah told him, whether in a dream or a long time ago during a journey, that she dreamed of something. A bit of a kingdom where they could be together again. So now it's time to go and build that kingdom. However way he must. And the woods weep for Rosco, as we spent many years together. "10 years in the woods. An emergence for a touch of humanity. A touch of friendship. A touch of love. But despite that, it's the woods Rosco chooses. Because that was his home. It's the only time he was himself and was comfortable. Because if he can't be next to Delilah, this is the only way for bliss. Can only hope that the rest of our host family can carry out the message that Delilah sent Rosco to give them. It's in their hands now, as it was meant to be. Because Rosco and Delilah and Tors started this company, this business, this trade to help those in need. And without Rosco and Delilah, maybe some of the troubles that come with their philosophies may dwindle. And maybe, just maybe, the host is set up for a future of success, to thrive, to grow, to expand, and to help, as was the vision, at least at first. Rosco tried, he tried, but in the end, his wrath did grow. and his blind hope for a better world took everything away from what he's built, what he's gained. And now, Rosco must rest, so he can be in a better place. The only person he's ever loved. His last words, when given the chance, well, not quite the chance, but his last words before this redemption were, "I am weak, and now I am strong. I'm coming, Delilah. I love you." I appreciate you all. Rosco is now dead. Rosco, as you know him, is dead. The good in him is dead. So now you've seen the true ending, and this was what I settled on. I wasn't ready to perma Rosco last night. I didn't go into that expecting a perma. I did expect, you know, something to happen, but not that. It was a very good death. It fit the story. Rosco did things on the back end and got into more and more trouble and eventually bit off more than he could chew. Got him and Delilah killed while still trying to hunt and, you know, problem solve for everybody. Hunt the cult and problem solve for everybody. So it was very fitting for that character and that story arc. He tried so hard to, you know, be someone he tried so hard to believe in the world, and it killed him, literally. So I was leaning towards more of a perma, you know, last night, not even doing what I did today. And then I was leaning on the fact that I wanted some kind of traumatic thing to happen, right? That would transform Rosco into Argo, which was the plan. If you've watched some of the, or watched some episodes where I've talked about my plans for this character. But I think I settled somewhere in the middle where Rosco, I already set it up in other journal entries and things that have happened, you know, to him. He's had visions and dreams and things, you know, that have kind of been like fortune telling for him. So I thought bringing back another vision to bring him, you know, we'll send him on one last mission to do good for the world, sort of thing. Like, that was his whole goal. He wasn't able to do it because he wasn't the person for it. He was a coward and weak and blindly led people. Didn't know what he was doing. He trusted people too well, and, you know, was at least given the chance to give those who he fortunately didn't lead to their death to do better than him. So I thought kind of settling somewhere in the middle where technically I died because of last night's events, but gave myself a chance to send off, you know, the host with one last, you know, kind of mission. I don't know. The whole point of the host, right, was a bunch of people. We had a bunch of people from where Argo originated, that event where I played that character. So we started this group to try and, you know, teach some people RP, get them into the flow of things, and, you know, give them some experience. And I think over the course of the last 6, 7, 8 months, we've done that. We formed a really awesome group. I love every member, all for different reasons. It's been such a fun ride. But this was kind of like, rather than just kind of dying and leaving them to pick up the pieces, I was able to fit something that I thought worked for the story and made sense, but still left me with a perma. You know, it was kind of a middle ground where I didn't quite die at the end of last night's stream, but I didn't make it much farther. So I hope, you know, you guys enjoyed it. I took a lot of thinking and a lot of, I don't want to say rehearsal. It took a lot of planning and mapping out to make it make sense and to leave, you know, rather than just leaving everybody in the host, you know, with nothing, just kind of being dead and being like, here, deal with it. I wanted to give them something to work with and give them some incentive to keep going. As the leader, like Delilah and I were the leaders, and Tors as well. We formed the group and we were the founders and we made a lot of the big decisions, and Delilah and I, you know, made the Discord and applied for us to be, you know, a recognized group. We're not a faction yet, but, you know, I didn't want to just abandon it entirely. So this was what I came up with. And like I said, I hope it works. I hope to see the host continue on. I don't know what I'm going to do from here. I think Ian and I are going to take some time and do some baghead stuff or something. I think that's our plan, at least for the time being. A little bit of filler, get us out and do some more goofy stuff and whatever, until I fully decide on what I'm going to do. I do have an idea. I'm not going to say anything, but I do have an idea. Not official. Don't know yet. I need some time to kind of detach from Rosco, I think. This was really hard for me to do. I didn't want to kill Rosco. If you don't do RP, it's like, when you play a character for this long, you like really are attached to it. Like I was like so fucking heartbroken, like walking into that church and then realizing really fast what was happening. Like I didn't want Rosco to die. Like you spend so much time playing this character and fleshing them out and coming up with ideas and just like, you know, going with the flow of things and the stories, and, you know, you get so immersed into the character, into the world and everything going on, and it's like, then when a moment like that comes up, you're never ready. You never walk into it ready. Even if you know it's coming, you can't ever be ready to let go of a character that you've worked on for so long. And Rosco is very different from any light RP or heavy RP that I've done. Like, very different character than anything I've ever done. Very timid, very, you know, conservative for the most part. Grew from a very, you know, unsure of himself person to, you know, had a little bit of strength, tried to lead people and did some good things and made mistakes. Very human character. So I don't know. Very, like I said, very different character than I've ever played, especially after being PvP heavy for so long. And I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this sucks. I didn't want to do this, but gave you guys some closure, gave Tors and hopefully the rest of the group some closure with my really shitty handwriting notes. Well, I don't really know if that's closure. I gave them a little task. They can give us a small funeral. Bury the bear at the site of our date. Delilah and I's date. And see what they do from there. Because now it's in their hands. I've passed the torch to Tors, essentially. And we'll see what they do from here. Truthfully. And that's kind of the whole point, you know? If our whole goal coming into this was to teach some newer people RP things, you know, I think we showed them what being involved in a very deep and complex story is all about. We showed some character development. I think everybody in the group showed a lot of character development. I think they gained a lot of valuable RP experience, storytelling experience. They understand the world that they're living in. And I left them with a little to-do list one last time. So I'm happy about that. I'm satisfied. So yeah, I'm going to end it at that. I appreciate you all. I'll be back when, I think Wednesday, E and I are going to do, like I said, we're going to do some baghead stuff and just goof around. It'll be really fun. Really fun mix-up as opposed to what we normally do on here. So, yeah. I appreciate you all for watching. I really do. Very heartbroken. It's never easy. Never easy. Send you guys over to where'd he go? Where'd Ginger or Rusty go? What's his name? Ginger? Ginger. He maybe, no, there he is. Maybe they could join the police force. What's up, Matt? Cool. GG's, everybody. Shout out to all of, you know, host, everyone a part of that. You know, Dan, Violet, Apache, Tors, Delilah, obviously, Skip, Ben, and those who have come and gone. Appreciate you all. It's been and Beer, obviously, duh. It's been a really awesome adventure with you all. We all had very different relationships and in character, you know, developments, and I thought it was a really good balance of things. Such a good time. You know, the coalition, the cult, you know, factions like EST and BMR and FL, the brokers, ORCC. There's too many to name. So many different, you know, groups and people, individuals that we've interacted with, had, you know, played some part of small, medium, or large storyline with, that have made this experience what it was. It's been really fucking fun. And I'm excited to see what the future brings. Lobster, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. Rosco is dead. 70 episodes of Rosco. Pretty long tenure. That's probably like 4 or 5 seasons, maybe 6. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll be bagheads, and you know, a little bit of time detaching from Rosco, and I will move on to the next. So I'm gonna send you guys over to Ginger, one of the woodsmen, cool dude, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much for the support as Rosco, and I look forward to telling whatever stories we have to tell in the future. Much love. Bye bye.